feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no wave.
All right. 50 Cent, man. 50 Cent. I think 50 Cent is trying to do a it's not a hostile takeover, but he's trying to do he is pulling a coup, if you ask me, on the documentary series. Now, here's my theory. And listen to me well. I don't think, most big companies have no soul. That's why when Diddy would say, damn, how could y'all put out this doc? Remember, Diddy was working with Netflix. He was kind of having like a deal kind of in the works, but then he gets locked up. It falls apart. They then hire Diddy's op, 50. Now, I think that's highly unethical. Damn. Why would you hire this guy's worst enemy? If you were cool enough to have business talks with the guy to try to get a documentary that he was going to be a part of himself, if he gets locked up or he falls out of the situation, why would you get his mortal enemy? But then I realized, and this is what I'm trying to say, a company like Netflix, like most big companies, they have no soul. They have nothing but the bottom line. They only care about dollars and cents. They don't care about, oh, that's my guy, I can't do that. Oh, shit, we have a relationship with them. No, they say, what could be the biggest when we announce it? What could get us the most subscribers, make us the most revenue? We're finding that out, and I think 50 is finding that out. I think 50 realizes that Netflix, they're down for anything as long as they could get someone else to be the face to give it credibility. That Jay-Z effect. Remember, Jay-Z was the face for a lot of shit for certain companies? They just care about selling. You see 50 in front of the Netflix logo. He says, little sex worker. He says, LOL, little sex worker doing it big. Get him, baby. Okay? It's 50 with Netflix. I think he's trying to get the influence over there, like possibly close to what he had to Stars. I don't think he will, because Netflix is really huge. So, he's trying, though. You know what he did? And you got to realize, this Sean Combs thing is a absolute fucking hit, chat. It's a hit. I think the majority of things he's doing is marketing this, but it's such a hit. Look at this. It shows him at the Netflix meeting and then Puff in jail, right? Puff in jail throwing down the phone or whatever the case is. He's with his lawyer throwing down the phone, right? Exactly. Now, when you look at this, and by the way, here's another thing. He has a picture of him presenting this. I would imagine it's Netflix. He said, good morning, guys. Don't let my momentum agitate you. The bidding war for WBD is heating up, and I don't care how it goes. I'm leaving with the winner. Now, I don't know what WBD is. What is that? Now, a lot of people think it's unethical for a rapper to be blowing the whistle on another rapper, given the fact that many rappers do the same things. Now, maybe not Diddy things, but I keep telling you, I know many rappers who they do domestically assault their women. They have put their hands on their woman. They have beat their woman before. They have a domestic case. People would think it would be unethical, especially if you've been accused of such things, to be the person blowing the whistle on other people being accused of such things. 50 don't give a fuck, okay? He don't give a fuck. He posted the Netflix thing. He said number one in 36 countries and 11 others still going up, okay? Now, here it is. 50 is now posted a picture, an edited picture of that. A picture that someone drew of Jay-Z. And 50 said, please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it. But of course, he's being facetious because he posted the picture that he claimed he wouldn't post. Now, that's not the interesting part, y'all. The interesting part is when you look at it, 50 was in the comments here and he was liking posts. You can't see what the author, which would be 50, likes. But 50, and I guess I could post it on Give me a second. I could post it on our burner page. Wait, what? Nah, I don't care about that. Wait. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Every time I open my phone, I see like a million different things. Anyway, because I don't want to slow the stream down. 50 is liking these comments, and these comments are saying, yo, do the documentary on Jay-Z next, right? Oh, actually, people posted on Twitter. So they're actually saying, and they're encouraging, and 50's liking it. Here we go. It said 50 Cent liking a comments hinting Jay-Z's next. Somebody says, my only question. He's next, isn't he? 50 liked it. Okay? So 50 seems to be liking comments that would make people assume maybe he's going to target Jay-Z next for a documentary expose. Now, 50, he did another interview. 50 Cent interview. Did y'all see this new interview? Hold on. I think this is it. We didn't play this. Let's go.
Life, including videos contribute to a critical portrait of Diddy in the documentary, which we can report tonight has now jumped to #1 for Netflix shows in the U.S. since debuting this week. Sean Combs' The Reckoning tackles Diddy's entire life, including previous legal controversies, the recent trial, which saw him acquitted on the most serious charges, including RICO, but convicted for prostitution crimes that landed him in prison for about 2 more years. Diddy's team is also rebutting this project as a, quote, shameful hit piece. They note the obtained footage was not authorized for release. Netflix says they legally obtained the videos. In addition, tonight, another dynamic here is that another famous rapper is, of course, behind this film, 50 Cent, who has long publicly clashed with Diddy and has recently expanded into a wide range of film and TV projects. He has plenty to say about Combs' record. The rapper, actor, and producer joins me now. He's sold over 30 million albums.
He got a new suit.
Won all kinds of awards and accolades along the way and is now a successful film and TV producer. And we're also joined by his colleague on the project, Alexandria Stapleton, an Emmy-winning showrunner and director of this series. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, thanks for having us.
Always great to have a 50-day.
Yeah, it's always going to be good. Great for ratings.
There we go. It's an important project, clearly. The question for both of you, 50 first, why this project, why now?
Well, we waited until after the results of the trial to release the project, but I started like almost 5 months before I was able to find Alex, and finding an Emmy Award-winning showrunner and director is detrimental to the project being really well put together. So, you know, they should expect it to perform like Reggie Jackson's did.
Thank you. Yeah, I think why it's coming out now is we wanted to wait, to get through all of the legal proceedings, the criminal trial, and it spans, it's 4 parts, and it spans over 30 years of pop culture, his life. So it took some time, to say the least, to put all of this together.
It's an important story, and you could just tell it with all the public material. Mm-hmm. You go further, you've gotten your hands on some extra new material people are going to see for the first time, including this video. Any journalist would want to know how you got it, but it is Sean Diddy Combs in the heat of this, right before the arrest for the trial we just discussed.
That is the video.
In private moments, talking to his lawyer, cameras running. Let's take a look.
It's the middle of of September and there's still no indictment.
Bro, then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. So you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business of media and propaganda.
50, how'd you get it, and what does that scene show?
Well, I mean, you're a journalist, Harvey. Harvey, you would not disclose your sources.
We usually don't.
Yeah, but I got it.
Yo, 50's diabolical.
What he said.
and what do you think it conveys? Because we see someone trying to pull the strings and talking about, he would say affecting, others would say manipulating the public views of the allegations.
I think that, one big theme of the series is to go behind the scenes to really understand how brilliant you could say Sean Combs is at marketing, at owning his narrative, controlling the narrative at all times. And so why would that stop, when his life is on the line? So I think that, on its face, that's what it is. But as you get deeper in the film, you start to realize, perhaps how some of these tactics, how they really came to present themselves, during the trial.
You show that, his abilities, his early rise. Right. Alexandra, you also give time to victims of the alleged abuse. Some of the cases are in different procedural postures. And you show victims who were women and men. Why is that important?
Because, victims of sexual assault, sexual violence, that should... gender should not be a part of that conversation. When you are a victim,
yo, 50. Yo, the more I look at 50, I'm like, yo, 50 a cold nigga, bro.
Victim. And I think that, this series was a platform in a way for these alleged victims to come forward, give their truth, put context to their situations when so much of it was ripped out, and we just went...
Yo, 50 really on the show with the suit, bro.
Salacious headlines. And they really had the time to tell their story.
Yeah, and the film takes us way behind the PR or propaganda machine. You see Diddy the day he's finding out about new suits against him while he's in New York preparing for a possible criminal arrest. Right. This is another moment from the video that 50 said he won't tell us where he got it. But it's a rare window into his thinking. I can say, just like Nixon didn't think the Watergate tapes would come out against him, it would appear that Diddy did not think he would lose control of this video as he talks about an accuser. Take a look.
I don't know what level of brokenness, disease is going on. God told me to do nothing, so I gotta do what God told me to do. And the one I gotta do it. You gonna stay steady in the storm, we ain't about to be tripping. That was a liar. The girl that's in my group that was on my last album. You're on my last album now. All of a sudden, I'm this person. I'm this monster. That, man.
We played all these before.
Gloves coming off.
Alexandria, what is this show in the story you're telling?
Well, this is a moment where the lawsuits, I would say, take a turn and they become very personal for him. Don Richard is one of the alleged victims who filed a lawsuit, and I think that this is a moment where he was nicked. His armor was nicked, I guess you could say, because I think Sean Combs is a person who probably feels like to step to him, especially legally, takes a lot of courage that I don't think he really assumed that a lot of people were going to have, even though the Cassie, lawsuit had already been out. And so I think he was a little off balance, but that quickly turned to anger.
And 50, the project, I've seen all 4 episodes, it doesn't feel like a personality critique. It feels like it goes to the conduct, the alleged abuse, some of it alleged, some of it proven. And so you also show, one person who worked with Diddy, this was a Bad Boy co-founder who had a falling out with him, as apparently many people did. And it goes beyond the bravado. Some would say, 50, you have some bravado, and that's okay. Here, it seems that it turns into something more sinister and abusive. I want to play Mr. Burrows talking about it and get your view of why this was an important part of the story. Take a look.
He had this thing with strongmen, and he had a thing with wanting to be one, but not positioned to be one street-wise, but positioned to be one industry-wise. And they call that a paper gangster.
I'm not paying, nor am I involved in any of that.
And so as he's paper gangstering, he's also trying to street gangster.
Yeah, Kurt Burrows has a lot of insight. And, this documentary is
50 is so smart. With him being the executive producer, he talks shit on Instagram more. He could come in and be like, man, I know Puffy. Puffy's blah, blah, blah. Remember, he's not featured in the documentary. He just executive produced it. So what he does is, of course, he probably helped create the narrative, but he doesn't give any context to it. He just relies on the people that he used to create the narrative, which is in a documentary. He's like, oh, this person has a lot of insight. 50's smart, man.
about people being able to tell their truth or tell their version of the story. And the only thing I wish we were able to have Diddy be in the doc. So he could have said some things that make people understand why people are saying these things about him.
The outreach went to his team and they gave denials, but he didn't want to participate.
Yeah.
What do you think of the psychology, 50? Because in getting to know you, I've learned that you could have been a full-time psychologist and done very well with that. You have a keen eye for people. Fair?
Oh, yeah, I try.
Mr. Burrows makes the argument that Diddy was overcompensating, that he wasn't initially actually a tough guy.
Right.
And then there's the old saying, be careful who you pretend to be, you might become them.
This is true.
Did that happen to him in your view?
I'm not sure if that's what transpired, but because I don't know him to be tough. We haven't even had problems, me and him. Our issue, they'll say we had beef for 20 years, but I have hired both of his sons for different projects that I worked on, both two different television shows, Quincy and Justin. So I don't have that energy towards him.
Yo, Fifth is good. He's now on this press run. He's acting like he's never had a problem. When you hear him on Drink Champs, man, I ain't never fuck with Diddy.
Where we trying to hurt each other. All I would while other people pointed out those situations that he was dangerous like that, I said, oh, okay. I take it in, but we never got there.
Alexandria, the story also broadens well beyond the recent case. You look at a very controversial incident he was involved in early in his life, where people were badly hurt and killed, lost their life, but it was like a melee, not one-on-one violence. You look at the infamous case in the nightclub with J-Lo, where another artist, Shine, took the rap, not him. Are you trying to tell a story that he's been getting away with things this whole time, or is that up to the viewer to decide?
Absolutely up to the viewer. I think that my job was to show patterns, and my job was to report the facts and things that happened. And I think that it's pretty obvious that there are patterns that follow him, trails, of destruction and devastation that follow. And I think that, again, context is everything. And so when you're talking about Sean Combs, when you're talking about these cases, you can't just cherry pick one to make it all make sense. You have to look at the piece as a whole. Yeah.
Now we have to talk about Tupac, which I wasn't committed to, but then I watched the doc. So
didn't know you were getting that.
You have a lot of people saying stuff in there that makes it sound like maybe he was responsible for that murder, which has never been proven. That's a very serious thing.
But you have Keefe D over in Vegas now, getting ready to go on trial for that case, saying those things.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with his trial. I think right now it's up for August of 2026, and so it'll be very interesting. It was fascinating, though, to unearth, different people that are not in the direct line of, when all the Keefe news came out. Someone like Kirk Burrows, you get to understand more of his opinion about what was going down. But I think more than just the actual murders and the tragic deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, I think that for us it was really important to understand some of the dynamics of those three, Sean Combs, Biggie, and Tupac, and what was really going on behind the scenes. That often gets lifted because everyone just wants to talk about, the murder, and not to really digest why.
But do you think a viewer's left with the impression that he was responsible?
I think that that's really up to the court system and not to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or the film. We're just presenting, things that have been reported on, have been said by Keefe D, himself repeatedly, and the LAPD.
Show some love, brother love.
Go on.
Nah, Fifth is diabolical, bro.
What Keefe was saying.
What he was saying, yeah. And yeah, you're speaking about a key person who some people would say, oh, that's strong evidence. Other people would say, when you get into years later and people with various agendas, you don't know. You have a juror in here. What did that show us about this case? Because there is a tension within all this. It's no stranger to many people that the justice system fails in all sorts of ways. You show how it failed survivors and Cassie, clearly. At the same time, he beat the case in New York. I remember the day it happened, and I looked at 50's Instagram for Diddy News, as so many Americans do. And in all fairness, 50 said, okay, he beat a big part of the case, right? You said. Many people think that was an unjust outcome, but when talking to the jurors, what did you find? Because the film...
They're trying to set 50 up to say something positive, to say, yo, hey, no matter what we thought or we've heard, the jurors agreed based on the evidence that he's not a sex trafficker and he did not commit RICO with blah, blah. So the dude, is this Ari Melber? Yeah, it is. He's setting it up to see if he could get 50 to say something good about Diddy. So he's like, oh, I learned about his conviction for certain things on your Instagram. You're the one, you're in tune. But then I watched the documentary. I'm hearing the juror, blah, blah. Could you tell me why the jurors voted the way they did? So, again, the proper way would be 50 saying, yo, yeah, people said a lot of things about him, but it's clear that some of the stuff wasn't true. Let's see if 50 says that. Look at 50.
Looks at all of this horror, but then finds that a jury of his peers in New York, ultimately in this era, said the government did not prove the whole RICO case.
Look at 50. All right, he letting her take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really complicated. And I think that to break down what went right and what maybe went left or wrong in that trial is that's a whole other documentary. But I think that we have two jurors, two very different types of New Yorkers, that were interviewed in the film. And I think that when you talk to them, I mean, it was very clear to me that they stood behind that decision. They stood behind it 1,000%. Because they felt that based on the charges that were presented by the federal government, and that they could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Sean Combs was guilty of, RICO.
Yeah.
That they overcharged.
That they overcharged. I think that
50.
When you get into the
50 a true hater, bro.
I don't know.
Yo, I know Kendrick says I'm the biggest hater, but I think 50 might be the biggest hater. Yo, I don't think Kendrick hate is this. Maybe Kendrick hate is like this too.
If our laws or our legal system are the best when it comes to the gray matter of sexual assault.
They had tanks out in front of his house. All right, like they made a bigger, more extreme approach to the investigation.
So you think the government did basically mishandle what was still strong evidence?
They did overdo it.
They overdid it.
They did great. He beat the case. To me, that what he was charged with, that's a victory. Like that, to end up with 50 months when you had when your life.
Okay, he's talking
on the line,
a little positive.
It's a victory, but To be the only person that's incarcerated for hiring and transporting male prostitutes is different.
Yeah. Life on the line, also a 50 lyric.
Yeah.
It is. When he comes out, and it's not that long from now,
Yo, how is 50 sitting here being interviewed, bro? Like he's like a neutral party. He hates Diddy's guts.
he enters this world. He's got a stack of civil cases that could bankrupt even the wealthiest people, and you give voice to some of those accusers and individuals. What do you think the future should hold for Diddy? Should he be, sort of re-embraced or not?
I don't know if he. I don't know why he didn't file bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would have indicated to the sharks that even if you see blood in the water, there's not that much blood, right? Because the lawyers, they came with so many lawsuits. It's like 80 different civil suits. So,
It's over 100 now.
Yeah, he'll be. That is going to exhaust him. The legal processes will exhaust him.
I think he also underestimated that a lot. I mean, with every celebrity, you do have different claims, and some are completely unfounded. But I think that some of these lawsuits, there's receipts, and there's footage, and there's voice recordings, and I think that for a man, it's also very interesting.
Yo, 50 a cold nigga, man. What a cold nigga, man. 50's a cold nigga. All right. Anyway, 50 also posted this, which was like, I think this is like one of the Wayans brothers, and he said, "Keep my name out your mouth, boy." And that was, I ain't gonna lie, I think a lot of people are seeing a little bit through, like, this whole thing with 50, and they're like, yo, again, documentary did tell a good, compelling story, but people are like, yo, based on the verdict, like, y'all are not you're not, like, being fair with it. Y'all if you watch the documentary, you think that Diddy killed Tupac, Biggie, beat every bitch up, took advantage of everybody, and was just a horrible person. And Marlon Wayans, he spoke on the doc, and he said this.
We ain't baby all close. Nah, you stupid. But, yo, look, Puff is... Nah. You working with Puff? Puff for 30 years. You saw Big before he passed? Yeah. Bro, so you're close. And Jack, what were you saying?
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And,
Who's telling the story, right? You can skew people very close to the situation. But you can create any narrative as a producer and as a director and as a storyteller. I can create a narrative. I could be like, you know what? You have. I could create a narrative.
Well, we see it all the time in reality shows.
Reality shows.
Yeah,
that's how
you're still
you write a narrative. It doesn't mean it's true. I can get interviews. I can do this. I can get footage, and I could make you think this about that person. Nah, for sure, yeah. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So for me, I think, look, 50 and Puff have a long-term beef. It's personal.
People are saying 50's wrong for doing it, but 50's right for doing it. It's divided.
It's between him and Puff. And before it's between him and Puff, it's between both of them and God. Just the way Puff is down on his luck and 50's kicking a man when he's down.
God is going to...
If 50 ever luck turn up on 50, that you got to be careful what you put out. There's a karma to every action that you do. We ain't baby all close.
I mean, I've said kind of the same thing. Yo, the moment 50 is ever in that position, he should expect no mercy, because he's shown no mercy. And maybe that's, from his past in the street, he's like, yo, fuck it. Like, yo, it is what it is. But he has to expect the same type of energy. There's another video, too, of him speaking about it. Is that the page? Yeah, it is. Here's another page. And now he's talking to Big Boy, another interview.
Hey, Marlon, have you seen that the documentary, the 50 Cent?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
For Diddy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, man, you working
Everybody
hard.
telling me you got to see it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
part of me don't want to see it.
You probably don't.
Because it's all skewed, man. Like, when you put stuff together.
Yo, is he close with Diddy, or is he just like, looking at it like, yo, hold on, I'm not watching a doc from somebody's op?
You create whatever narratives you want to, and at the end of the day, everybody being programmed. Right now the man's serving time.
Right.
He went before the court. The court said this, and everything is God. But God said this is what he got to do. He got to do 5 years in pen. Let him do his 5 years.
Hey, Marlon.
Interesting. Now, not gonna lie to you. The person who is going on the offense versus 50 is actually Ja Rule. Ja Rule is not like, he's kind of calling it out to say, yo, come on, man. We got to stop the shit, okay? He came out and he said, listen, let's not have selective outrage when it comes to domestic abuse. Now, we all know Diddy notoriously had that video of him beating up Cassie in the hallway. And somebody says, thank you, Ja. He was also accused of tatted up Holly. Now, what is this? It says 50 issues a public apology to ex-girlfriend after abuse accusations. It said 50 extended the olive branch to his ex-girlfriend tatted up Holly after she took to Instagram to accuse the mogul of physical abuse. Sharing a photo of an alleged text message conversation, Holly called 50 a manipulating woman beater. She says, now he wants me to calm down. You're nothing but a manipulating woman beater. You fucking bully. Puts fear in everybody's hearts, mistaking it for respect. I treated this man like royalty, but all I got in return was ass whippings. Didn't ask him for shit. He would buy me gifts only to take him back. What a man. He wanted me to love unconditionally. I'm sorry. I will not tolerate a grown-ass man putting their hands on me. I was good before you. I will be good without you. It says, in response to a sort of reports, 50 offered a public apology to Holly on Instagram yesterday, calling her a great friend. The G-Unit General remarked that he was a proponent of her accomplishments. The public apology was this: this woman is a good person. She's been a great friend for me for a year. I enjoy seeing her grow and progress in so many ways in a short period of time. I have no interest in seeing her down. She's a winner at heart and she'll always win. I've watched people hate her because of me, and it's only made me want to see her accomplish more. She's a very special type of person. She looks up to me, so I want to let this be known to people who would love to see her down. I'm never going to let that happen. I'm way too big for that kind of shit. It says, since the apology, they both removed their own their post. And wow. So people brought that up, and Ja Rule, you know, he was going on the whole thing. He says Herman's no different, allegedly. 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson, has been involved in at least one well-documented domestic violence incident. In June 2013, he was accused of kicking his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his son, model Daphne Joy, also known as Daphne Navarez, in the stomach during an argument at the Los Angeles condominium, as well as destroying about 7,100 of her property, including furniture, chandelier, and television. The altercation reportedly stemmed from the suspicion of infidelity. Los Angeles authorities charged him with 1 count of misdemeanor domestic violence and 4 counts of misdemeanor vandalism. He pled not guilty initially, but later reached a plea deal in 2013, pleading no contest to 1 count of vandalism. The domestic violence charge and the 3 vandalism counts were dropped as part of the agreement. He was sentenced to 3 years probation, 30 days of community service, 52 weeks of domestic violence counseling, and $7,100 restitution payment to Joy, $2,390 in fines, and a restraining order requiring him to stay away from her. Jackson, which is 50, denied the domestic violence allegations at the time through his attorney, stating that he had not been arrested and there was no warrant for his arrest. In 2024, amid his production for a Netflix docuseries on Sean Diddy Combs' legal issues, Joy publicly accused Jackson of R-wording and physically abusing her over the years, referencing the 2013 incident as part of a pattern, though no new charges resulted from these claims. By the way, damn, Ja really hates 50 because this half right here, or this like 2/3, it has lawyer written all over it. It's clear that Ja put up a post with lawyers looking over it that 50 can't take it and sue him, because that's what you do. You know what I mean? Like if you have somebody that has some money that is going to accuse you of R-word or certain type of things, you sue him. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, like Mano. And by the way, I ain't gonna lie. If I find out, I swear to y'all, if I find out that Mano got money, I'm suing him. Mano claimed that I paid out for sexual assault. I've never done that. So Mano, matter of fact, I might hit up a lawyer just because on some Megan Stallion shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. That never happened. So for him to actually disparage my character and claim that I've paid out for any sexual assault, that's definitely a lawsuit. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Fuck all that gangster shit. I might have to sue that nigga if I know he got money. But I think Mano broke, to be honest. I think Mano broke. I think all them rappers are broke. Like, come on, right? But if you're not broke, I'm suing him. Facts. So yeah, I think Ja Rule, like a lawyer clearly looked at this. He looked at this, and everything is said that gives just straight facts. Just straight facts. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie. Chat, should I sue Mano? Mano claim I paid out for a sexual assault. Should I sue him? I promise I'll sue his ass. But I think he's broke though. So the thing is, I don't want to spend 100 bands trying to get money from a nigga that don't. But I think the car he was in is a Maybach, so he might got some money. Maybe it's some street money. I don't care how he got it. But also, here's the thing. I don't like that type of thing because I talk shit. And when I'm talking shit, I don't want niggas to be like, oh, yo, he talking shit and going to sue. So that's why I don't like that. But like, you know, Mano, just respectfully, bro, please, like that type of conversation you having about me, that's not true. Like, respectfully. Like, I'm not trying to do no Karen shit and sue niggas. But please, I would like for you to correct that. There is someone is suing me, but just to be clear, Jay-Z's gotten sued for sexual assault. Everybody you know has gotten sued. It doesn't mean that these things are true. Somebody's trying to get money. I've never paid out. I've never settled. I'm taking everything to court. We're taking it to the trial. We're taking it to the box. Straight up. So just to let you know, you said a factually incorrect statement that could have some type of detrimental harm to me because your shit, like, you know, everything you're saying about me now is kind of going viral. Could you please correct that? And I'm asking you on a civil manner right now, and I'm asking you verbally because that's vehemently false. Now, I don't want to have to be the person that files lawsuit. You know why? Because if I get to the lawsuit type of realm, every time when people diss me and I diss them back, they're going to be like, they're going to treat me like 6ix9ine. You know when 6ix9ine starts talking tough to niggas, they're going to be like, man, we ain't going to get into it with you. You going to call the police. No, I like to talk shit to people. But you're putting me in a weird position when you start talking about sexual assault. You're lying. So I'm going to respectfully request that Mano kind of clear that up because I have been waiting for, I've told you, I've been waiting for any rapper or somebody with some money to actually call me something that is not factually true. Because the facts of, everybody know the facts of the case, or it's not even the case. Someone has filed a civil suit, but everybody know the police looked into everything. There's nothing there. I was cleared. It went through a grand jury. They looked at it. There is not even probable cause for me to be charged. It's not nothing. Chick is trying to sue. Get it? Really, and I've talked to my lawyers. I shouldn't even say this part, but the majority of her case is going to be, it's your house. So even if it's not you, if damage at your house was incurred, there might be a case. So it doesn't have to be you. It's like if somebody come on my property and get tripped, like trips over something and falls or dies or whatever, that could fall back on me even though I didn't do nothing. So that's the only thing my lawyers have said. Be like, yo, bro, sexual assault shit is bullshit. She's claiming some other shit, got nothing to do with you. But it is your house. That's the only thing, realistically. But so, Mano, you saying that I paid out, you're lying, brother. And if you could find something where I've said I paid out, you won't. But chat, I'm really not trying to file lawsuits, bro. Like, I really think this lawsuit shit, that's some Meg Thee Stallion shit. That's some corny shit. But I do understand when niggas is starting to lie. So, chat, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all let me know. Should I sue Mano or not? I don't want to. Because I'm in the shit-talking business. And in the shit-talking business, you shouldn't run to the courts. So, really, like, you know, Mano got in his feelings. He started talking about some other shit that is not true. Mano, again, respectfully, my nigga, I know you old as shit. But, you know, if I said these things about you, if I said you R-worded like a 15-year-old, nigga, you be tight. You be out looking for me with your little with your little ray gun. You feel me? I get it. You've said some shit about me that's absolutely false. I would like for you to clear it up because I don't want to file a lawsuit on you. I think that's corny. All right. Anyway, going back to the Ja Rule thing, I think Ja got a lawyer to look at this because, remember, these are serious allegations. So if you say that 50 is whatever, or if you said he got a conviction, which he didn't, he could sue you. Do I think 50 would sue Ja Rule? Fuck yes. Of course. So this is why, like, if you read, this is Ja tweeting. When you read this, it sounds like a lawyer wrote it. You know why? The statement is even written to give 50 even some credit. Like, look, though no new charges resulted. Look, oh, my bad. Though no new charges resulted. So if 50 was going to sue for defamation or some shit like that, it would be tough for 50 to sue for that. Because it would be tough for 50 to sue for that. Solely because, look at this shit. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's kind of ironclad. It's stating facts. Doesn't seem malicious, even though we know it's malicious because it's from Ja. But it's pointing out that 50 never caught new charges. It's pointing out some positive things for 50. Anyway. Ja wasn't none there. He wasn't none there. Okay? Here we go. And also respectfully too, with the Mano shit, Mano, I ain't gonna lie to you, all the contemporaries I know, when niggas play with him like that, they hit the lawsuit quick. Shout out to my nigga Charlamagne. You say some shit about Charlamagne or whatever he ever had going on, he's suing you. Facts. He ain't playing with you. So nigga, please, I get you in your feelings, bro, but we were just joking about some shit. I would like for you to at least clear that shit up. Or, you know what I mean, fuck it. You don't got to clear it up. You feel me? We could get to it. I just think you broke, honestly. Like, nigga, you're podcasting with 4 other rappers, my nigga. Like, I think you're broke. I'm sorry. But I didn't appreciate you lying on me, especially about that. If I lied about you about sexual assault, pedophilia, really weird things, I'm pretty sure you'd be taking some type of measure, whether it was, I got to go see this nigga and punch him in his face, which, again, I'm not a violent person, but I would definitely, I could courtroom gangster it, Anyway, chat, remind me on that. And matter of fact, I'll say this. Mano, you say one more word about that, Suya, I promise you, because you lied. You lied on that, unless you clear it up. You say one more word on that, Suya, I promise. Because I ain't gonna let no nigga come on here and, again, the facts that all this shit is out there. I've said it, nigga, it's in court documents. There's nothing, please don't lie on me. Don't lie on me. I never paid no chick out. I've never said I did nothing wrong. It's never happened. So if you want to take roasting to you now, slandering and defaming me, we could get to court, Mr. Tough Guy. All right? That little Maybach you got, I could get that to, you know what I mean? I could do some, donuts on the grass with that. Fuck it. All right. Anyway, back to, chat, I'm just getting more mad because I feel like I'll be letting shit pass. You know, Donald Trump sued ABC because they mischaracterized a civil suit he had. I know Charlamagne has sent mass cease and desist when niggas start playing with his name. Nigga, I usually don't really give a fuck. Like, even when niggas on YouTube say crazy shit about me, I'll just be like, nigga, I talk shit too. But you can't let a nigga just flat out lie on you, right? Like, this nigga is saying that, who the fuck I paid out, Mano? I have your ass in court showing the whole world who I paid out because it never happened. So I'm going to give you a chance to clean that up just on some, we were joking shit. But if you think we not joking no more, we could go there. Because I do take, I take, you would take your reputation if I made certain allegations against you serious. I would like to take that seriously. Anyway, all right. All right, let me just get back to this Ja Rule thing. Okay, cool. So Ja gets on and Ja says, let's be real, that nigga don't give a fuck about the victims. So he's talking about 50. So he don't give a fuck about the victims. We don't know why he did the doc. Hermans. Who's Hermans? Curtis. Is 50 Cent's name Herman? Or is he saying Hermans? Hermans? Wait. 50 Cent. Where the hell is he getting Herman from? Unless I'm missing a joke. It's Curtis James Jackson. Like, where does Herman's? Anyway. Herman's a cancer to the culture. If he cares so much, then donate the profits to the charities for domestic violence. Someone says, Ja, I'm on 50 Cent's side on this one. There's some animals that deserve to be snitched on out there. Some things can't be swept under the rug. Ja says, I'm not condoning Diddy's behavior. I'm showcasing, we're just going to substitute this with 50. I'm showcasing 50's character. Then he puts this whole thing, we read it. He says, it's cool when he do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Fuck out of here. 50 is an abuser too, allegedly. Wow. Then he talks about the tatted up Holly stuff. And then he says, let's not have selective outrage when it comes to domestic abuse. And he says, thank you, Ja. He was also accused of tatted up Holly. He says another one, allegedly. Said people starving for attention and also die from starvation. That's Rule. Okay. Not burn the house down. Oh. Then I guess he's now gaining information. Says, somebody put out in 2008, the mother of 50 Cent's child accused a rapper of trying to burn them to death after a suspicious fire ripped through their Long Island home today. He tried to kill me and his own child, says Shanika Tompkins, who miraculously survived the suspicious 4 a.m. blaze which leveled the $2.4 million mansion in Tony Dix Hills, where she lives with the rapper's 10-year-old son Marquise and 4 relatives. The blaze erupted after Tompkins and 50 Cent, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, got into a violent dispute Monday during a deposition in a $50 million lawsuit she's bringing against him. Who I think did it? Curtis Jackson. That's what Tompkins told the Post. He threatened me on Monday and that he was going to have someone visit me. My kids are in the house. Who would try to kill your own kids? He's supposed to be all about being a gangster. That's not a gangster. That's a coward. The blaze was deemed suspicious by the authorities in Dix Hill, though cops had no suspects. The rapper was in Louisiana at the time of the fire, filming a movie. Wow. Then he puts up the whole thing about the tatted up Holly thing. He says, I think I'm going to start doing docs. That's what Ja is saying. It's a lot to unpack here, allegedly. Then he says, again, let's not be selective in our outrage for abusers. Then he puts a picture of 50. Well, somebody puts a picture of 50 and says, you better quit before 50 get on you next. And he says, please stop projecting your fears of another man on me. I don't give a fuck about 50. He's goofy to me. Wow. So it appears that Ja is teasing that he might do a doc on 50. And I do think that's like incredibly nasty on both sides, okay? I think it's incredibly nasty on both sides. You know why? Because it is kind of an eyesore watching 50 be the soapbox guy and the guy who's like, oh my God, this is so intolerable. When he was signed to Dr. Dre. Let's be honest. Dr. Dre, who is a notorious, and come on now, let's not do too much, but come on. There's a lot of people in hip hop that have been accused of such things. Again, I'm not saying that these things should just be water under the bridge, but to sit there and like kind of act like, oh my God, this is like so new and how could people like forgive this? And I had to show people this to the world. At least don't be a flagrant hypocrite about it, right? Yeah. Now, on the Diddy side of things, I don't want people to think I'm defending Diddy. Yo, Chad, did y'all remember the part of the doc when they say, yo, Diddy, you know, they accuse him of damn near killing Biggie. And they're like, yo, after this happens,